Hey, what's up you guys? I'm Fernando and welcome to my channel. Today we're talking how powerful you are and why you are so powerful. I embody this and I'm always telling you guys this, you are so powerful. That's what it is. What are you gonna do? So yesterday I got a comment that was asking me, when you say we are powerful, upon what aspects are we powerful? And so I thought it was an interesting question. And maybe there are more people who are wondering why they're powerful. I could talk about it all day, okay? You are so powerful. So instead of filming what I was going to film today, I thought I might just answer the question in this video. I'm gonna walk you through why you are so powerful. You are such a cosmic, powerful being. And so in this video, we're gonna talk about what manifestation is, what it actually is. We're gonna tap into principles like Ho'oponopono, mind projection, so that you understand where your power is coming from. Also, we're gonna talk about transcending the mind, because when we don't, then these principles here become a little too airy, right? So we're gonna ground stuff so that you can make sense of all these things that seem too out there sometimes. So I'm gonna walk you through that as well. And then we're gonna remember who we are, because this is at the core. If we don't remember who we are, then we can't really see how powerful we are. I'm also gonna give you examples in my personal life for everything that I'm talking here, because I'm not just saying it, okay? So this is going to be a fun journey. It's going to be a jam. You don't wanna miss it. Keep watching. So we're gonna talk about manifestation first. Now, if I ask you this, what comes to mind when you hear the word manifestation? What comes to your mind when you think of the idea of manifesting? I'll give you a sec. What comes to mind? Now, something tells me that when you think about manifestation, you are thinking about your wish list. You are thinking about better health. You are thinking about more money. You are thinking about getting a better job. You are thinking about getting a new car, a new house, a new partner. Am I right? Were you thinking these things? If so, yeah, you're right. That's what manifestation is. Now, question number 2. Is manifestation about this only? I'll give you a sec. Is manifesting only about getting these cool, fun things? Or is it about more than that? Manifesting is about everything. So let's see the counterparts here, okay? Manifesting your wish list. Manifesting misfortune. Manifesting better health. Manifesting illness. Manifesting more money, manifesting losing money, manifesting a better job, manifesting losing your job, manifesting a new car, a new house, a new partner, manifesting stuff breaking down. For example, your car. For example, an appliance you have. Everything is a manifestation. Why? Because you're an energy being. And you come to Earth to manipulate energy. And so everything that's happening in your experience is a manifestation. So when you learned about manifesting and the law of attraction, if you were like, yay, now I'm gonna be able to manifest and do this cool new thing that I've never done before, you're wrong. Because you've been manifesting all along. Everything is a manifestation. Everything. So you manifest the good, you manifest the bad. You manifest the small, you manifest the big, and everything in between. Everything is a manifestation. So this is the first thing we get to get straight. So learning about the law of attraction is about harnessing this universal law that has been going on in your life forever. There is not one time when manifesting was not a part of your existence. So you're manifesting everything, everything. So let me tell you a story. Last year, I think it was May last year, I'd already been on the path. I'd already been doing Ho'oponopono, practicing alignment, manifestation, all the jazz, right? And I had to take my car to the repair shop because it had some issues. And so my partner at the time, he kind of like handled it. He took it to this place. And then he, like, I think 2 days later, he was like, yeah, it's going to cost this much money to do all these things to repair the car. I was taken aback. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it. I started spiraling down and I started resenting the guy, the mechanic. I sort of resented my partner for like not handling the situation better. And so I started like freaking out, but all the while I was like, oh my gosh, manifestation, my vibration. No, this feeling of resentment is not going to do me any good. So I did my best. I did some Ho'oponopono while like everything was going on, but the feelings were there. They surfaced. And all I could do was allow and try my best to be in a neutral space. So what happened was, for at least an hour, my vibration was a mess. And I could feel it, I could touch it. It was palpable because I had been practicing alignment, right? And so when that caught me off guard, I could touch my spiraling vibration. And so for at least an hour, I was a mess. And so I kept cleaning, I kept like reestablishing my good vibe. And eventually I was able to, but wow, it caught me off guard and I could feel it. I could feel the low vibe taking over me. What happened with the car was I ended up doing what I had to do. I paid the guy, that was that. But the very next day, my keyboard, my electric piano, it's right over there actually, broke down. The very next day, 2 keys sank. Literally. I just knew it. I just knew it. To me, that was like, the connection is unbreakable. The connection is unbreakable. So when something breaks down, like an appliance, for example, or anything, it's your manifestation. Now, this might be a little hard to swallow, right? And you're like, but it's not my fault. You're right, it's not your fault. This has nothing to do with guilt or shame. Nothing. Nothing. This has to do with responsibility. Because you manifest everything that you experience in your reality. I know this can be a little out there, and that's why I have this whole thing planned out for you, because I'm walking you through. So if you feel like this is a lot, keep watching. Bear with me. I'm taking you by the hand. We're moving on. So next thing for us to tap into is metaphysical principles like Ho'oponopono. The Ho'oponopono videos are my popular videos, the most popular videos on my channel. Maybe you've watched them. Ho'oponopono is total metaphysics. Totally. What does Ho'oponopono tell us? Ho'oponopono tells us that your external reality is a mind projection. Everything you experience in the world out there, that's not even out there, it's your responsibility, because it's a reflection of stuff that's inside of yourself. And so that's why you say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. You are cleaning on the subconscious programs, memories, data that are in your subconscious mind and that are being projected into your outside world. And so when you see stuff you don't like, it's up for you to clean, because it's inside of yourself, because it's a mind projection. Neville Goddard told us that the world is you pushed out, that everyone is you pushed out. Why? Because the world out there is a projection of your mind. It's a reflection of what's inside of yourself, inside of your mind. There is no out there out there. There's no out there out there. The world is not physical. That's why it's an illusion. Things are not as they seem. It's your video game, right? This also ties in with the mirror principle, which is the same thing. It's all a projection. So imagine looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like sulking and you see a reflection. But you want to see a different reflection in the mirror. You don't want to see a sulking image. You want to see a bright smile. What do you do for you to see a bright smile in the mirror? Do you draw a bright smile in the mirror? Do you fight the mirror? Do you like throw a rock at the mirror? Like what do you... No. You change your expression. And so therefore you see a different reflection. So all these metaphysical principles, they're talking about the same thing. And these principles are totally related with what manifestation is. So when my car broke down and I had this triggering moment and then my keyboard broke down the next day, the connection is unbreakable. Rhonda Byrne is such a blessing in my life. She's the author of The Secret, right? Her books were the first things that I read upon stepping onto the spiritual path. And I am so blessed to have had that material, because she just throws stuff at you, the most metaphysical principles. She just throws them at you without going too deep into them. But she just tells you what you get to do to live your best life. And one of the many things I learned from the get-go was, when an appliance of yours breaks down or anything you own breaks down, immediately start being grateful for everything else you own that's working. Immediately. Right? That's all she tells you. If you're reading that book and you have no clue of what's going on, you're like, what is this, right? Like, it's hard to believe. But that's what she's tapping into. It's a reflection. So if something breaks down and you fall into the trap of feeling resentful, of blaming everything and everyone, and just like killing your vibe, get ready, because other things might break down, because something breaking down is a reflection to you, a reflection of something that's inside of yourself that might be breaking down. Meaning, your vibration getting off, your precious thought energy manifesting undesirable things, right? This video game is a huge cosmic setup, right? We got it all backwards. So this is the chance for us to reinvert and create heaven on earth, right? So these are the principles that back up what manifestation is, and now you know everything is a manifestation. Now, I know it can be hard to swallow, it can be a little hard to grasp, and that's normal. Why? Because we're doing it on a rational level. So we get to transcend the rational mind, which leads us to the next point here, transcending the mind. Now, the word transcending alone might be a little airy for some people. It's like, okay, I get it. This word is like thrown about all the time, everywhere in the spiritual community, but maybe you don't get it. So I'm just gonna ground it with something more physical, so to speak, so that you get the idea of what transcending really is. So for that, I'm going to give you an example of operating systems. I'm going to tap into technology for you to get what I'm saying when I say transcend the rational mind, okay? So, for example, in the tech world, we have computers and smartphones, and you are very familiar with smartphones, aren't you? You can't get away from it, right? So let's talk about that. PCs, you have Microsoft computers, and then on the other end, you have Mac computers, right? Or you have Android smartphones, or you have Apple smartphones, right? It's called iOS. What is iOS? iOS is the operating system for iPhones and iPads. Android is the operating system for Samsung and the other brands of cell phone, right? An operating system is like a set of rules. It's an environment in itself. And so the Android environment or operating system is unique and it's different from the iOS, Apple's operating system. For computers, you also have operating systems. For PCs, you have Windows. Windows is an operating system. And for Mac, it's called Mac OS, which is Apple's operating system for MacBooks. And so they are exclusive environments on their own. And so if you think of computers, for example, for Windows programs, the files are called executable files. That's the format of the file. So if I want to install an application in my Windows computer, this program is going to come using this format. And it works, it runs in this ecosystem, the PC ecosystem. For the Mac, it's not the executable file. It's called DMG. It's another file designed to run in this specific ecosystem. And so if I take the executable file and I put it inside of a Mac computer and I try to run it, it's not going to work. Why? Because it was not designed to run and to operate in this ecosystem. Technically, there are workarounds, but it's not a native application. So if you just try to use it there, it's not going to work. And vice versa, okay? Are you following me? Hopefully this is clear enough. So this is just to get you grounded on the idea of operating systems, okay? Now let's go back to metaphysical stuff, which is way more fun, right? At least for me. So take this now, okay? The rational mind, your conscious human mind. The conscious human mind is an operating system. It's a set of rules that were designed for us to have this experience on earth. So the conscious mind was literally, divinely, and cosmically designed for us to have this experience. Now, these operating systems, they are not infinite, they are limited. That's why you can't take an executable file and just put it there because it has to speak the language of that environment. The rational mind is very similar. By the way, the rational mind, the human mind, is just like a computer program. It's very mechanical. Very mechanical. It's limited. It's its own environment. And so when we begin talking about metaphysical things, like when something breaks down in your experience, you manifested it. For the conscious mind, it's like, hey, this idea is not really native here. It doesn't really fit. And so we're trying to make complete sense of metaphysical ideas, relying solely on our rational mind for that thing to make sense, for that principle to make sense. And it's like, this doesn't make sense. Why? Because that idea is not native. And so if we're trying to understand spirituality solely relying on the conscious mind, it's not going to make much sense because the metaphysical ideas, they are not native meaning they don't really run here. We can use the conscious mind to like articulate ideas, but ultimately these ideas transcend, they transcend the rational mind, meaning we're not using the mind as the main means, as the only means to sort stuff out. It transcends. And where do we go when we transcend the conscious mind? Your higher mind, your soul, the bigger, the much larger aspect or part of what you are. Because you are not the rational mind. You are not your physical body. You have a physical body and you have your rational mind here in this meat suit we wear to play the game, the video game. But that's not what you are. So transcending is about going back to source, to the infinite and much more intelligent part of what you are, right? Your intuition. So when I speak about these things, I use my rational mind to articulate ideas, but I'm not speaking from my conscious mind. Like when I speak about these truths, I'm coming from my heart, meaning I'm coming from my soul. I'm coming from my higher mind. And this is stuff I'm remembering here because my soul never forgot a thing. Your soul never forgot a thing. Now, the human experience with the rational mind forgets everything upon birth. It's called the veil of forgetfulness, right? We come here to forget. We dream, we're dreaming we left spirit to have this experience, but we never left spirit. We are there right now. Are you getting where I'm getting at with this? You are so powerful. Keep watching. The idea of things being infinite. Have you ever thought about this? You know, the universe is infinite, infinite intelligence. Is the human intelligence infinite? The rational mind is finite. And so when we think about something being infinite, this idea alone is not native. It doesn't really run natively in this ecosystem. It doesn't. We can think about it. We can ponder. We can transcend the rational mind regarding this. But the rational mind was not designed to fully grasp this idea. This program doesn't really run here because it was not designed to. So it's about transcending the rational mind. And when you transcend the rational mind, you gain your power back. Because the rational mind is limited. You are not limited. You are an infinite spiritual being having a temporary human experience. You are an infinite spiritual being having a temporary human experience. Right? So that's what transcending is letting go of the mind a little bit. Knowing that there's something much greater, which is inside of yourself right now, is you right now. You are so powerful. Concepts like non-duality. People like Rupert Spira speak on this all day, every day. That man opens his mouth, it's non-duality. It's his jam. He loves talking about it. And in his lectures, if you've seen it, you will see people like asking him, and he's like so quiet, so patient, and he's like taking his time to like elaborate on ideas. And a lot of times the people asking questions, they're totally here. They're like, but I don't get it. I don't get it. Because the rational mind was designed for the experience of duality, polarity, good and bad, right or wrong, hot and cold, which is literally the essence of the third dimensional experience we're having right now. And so if you're trying to grasp the idea of non-duality solely with your rational mind, you will keep banging your head against the wall. So it's about transcending all of it and remembering who you are. The concept of mind projection, the mirror principle is the same thing. Use your mind to understand the basics, but it's like allow and transcend, because if your conscious mind is the one to be the judge, you will never go far. You will never go far, and you will stay limited. And so I'm filming this video to remind you of what you are, right? Which leads us to this part here. Who you are. You are a limitless spiritual being having a temporary human experience. You are a soul, an eternal soul. You are so powerful. You are not a body. You are not a mind. You have these things temporarily. And as the eternal spiritual being that you are, you come to earth to manipulate energy, meaning to create, to manifest. And so when you come here, it's like you are trying to see if you're going to do better the next incarnation. And you're like, let's see if I can harness this power, if I can manifest better things, transmute darkness back to light. Right? But everything is a manifestation because it's all energy. And so you come to earth to create. There's a power that flows to and through you that animates your body. That's what you are. Pure light, pure love. When this power that is you leaves the body, when you leave the body dies immediately. And you go on. You never cease to exist. And so you are so powerful. Why? Because you are so powerful, you can manifest the experience of not being powerful at all. If you are having an experience of limitation right now, hopefully you are not, but if you are creating it because you are that powerful, because you can manifest everything, including an experience of total lack and limitation. But that's great news. Why? Because it's just a matter of reversing it. If you can create misfortune, you can create all your wish list. You can manifest it all. You are so powerful because you're manipulating energy all the time. So this flow of energy that's coming into your body, which is you, is your body is molding this energy that is coming to you at all times. And so when you have thoughts and emotions that are of lower frequencies, the way you're molding that energy is low vibe. And so therefore you manifest low vibe things. If your thoughts and your emotions are in better alignment with spiritual and universal truths, the way you're molding that energy is way more divine. And so therefore you manifest way more divine things. So it's all a manifestation. Everything is a manifestation. I grew up with the biggest sense of lack and limitation. I didn't grow up in poverty. My father has always had a career in the corporate world. He loves it. And so I literally saw him like evolving in his career and making more and more money. And yet I was like, I can't do that. I would never be able to be in the corporate world. I will never be able to provide for myself. So that's what I saw in my mind projection. And those were the beliefs that I started adopting, and they got installed in my subconscious mind. And so for the longest time, that's what literally was projected into my experience. I lived a life of lack and limitation and scarcity all along. Even not growing up in poverty, I was provided for by my parents, but I was never able to make money because the stories in my subconscious mind, the programs, they were in alignment with limitation. And so my manifestations always reflected lack and limitation back to me. Up until I got into the spiritual path and started to understand all of this. Same thing with my self-worth. I don't look good, I'm too shy, I'm not attractive, all of those bad limiting stories. And that's literally what I experienced up until I got onto the spiritual path and started reversing it. And so I began experiencing the opposite. So I speak from experience. I'm not just saying that you're powerful to make you feel good. I say this because it's the truth. You are so powerful. You are so powerful. And I love you so much. Now, I don't want you to stop your journey here. I made a video on how the world agrees with you, meaning it's a mind projection, meaning the world is you pushed out, meaning the ideas you nurture in your subconscious mind will be the experiences you see in your external world that's not even external. So I recommend you watch this video right now. I'm gonna link it for you. So go ahead and click it and watch it right now.